Hey, coming up on this episode of Swing Nation, we've got a super smart blog post from Nathan Bugh, a documentary about women in jazz, and another one on female hoofers in Philadelphia. Swing Nation, episode 45 starts now.
Hit that jive, close the door, get the carpet off the floor. Swing Nation,
people grooving together.
Truck on down, pimp your stroll, put some jelly on that roll. Swing Nation,
people grooving together.
This episode of Swing Nation is sponsored by the 920 Special, San Francisco's premier Thursday night swing dance party. Go to 920special.com for details.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 45 of Swing Nation. This is season 4. Woo!
What?
That's right. Our seasons. I love our seasons.
I'm
So
Zucker
professional.
Punch. This is Rick-O-Matic and Spuzz. And we are here to give you a rollicking good time.
Ready for action.
Yes. So much action that we have for you that I don't know what that means.
It sounds great. It sounds
Okay.
like you do have action.
Why don't you
Yes.
tell us about your action, Rick?
There's so much action we have for you.
And now we have a Killadilla performance. Yeah, we got some cool stuff. Can we do some of the quickies quickly? Quick bits? Yeah. This one came across it on the Facebooks. It's the dopest picture I've seen in a long time. It's two really well-known African-American poets, and they're dancing together in the New York Times. And Maya Angelou posted it to her Facebook, and apparently they were depicted in New York Times as doing some sort of like African dance or something. And he was like, "No, man, we're doing the jitterbug."
Yeah,
And just look at their pose. Like, it's like classic, like Lindy Hop pose. So if you dance this dance, you know exactly what they're doing.
Man, you guys, I think this means we made it. Maya Angelou
Exactly.
is doing this. I think we've hit
I want to dance with Maya Angelou for sure.
it. Yeah, me too.
That'd be dope.
That's pretty cool.
Right? Super sweet.
And she posted it to her page.
All poet laureates, I think, should be required to do a jam. Right? That's how they qualify.
That's pretty cool.
Speaking of dapper dancers, we found about this site. Is this another Bobby White production?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, another Bobby White production.
SwingDaddies.wordpress.com.
Dandies.
SwingDandies.wordpress.com.
Swing Daddies is a little...
That's a different one. I'm not exactly clear on what it is. Is it basically like a user-submitted, people looking great kind of website?
Yeah, swing
basically
dance
what it is?
fashion.
So I don't see any San Francisco people on there. That's all I have to say.
We'll have to work on that.
Yeah.
It looks like a Pinterest but it's not. Oh, there's Ramona.
Mia.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're dapper,
Chris.
lady or gent, submit yourself to Swing Dandies.
So if I click through to Sailor Mike, we've got some close-ups of his dapperness. Oh, look at the split in that jacket. That's cool. That's pimp.
This is where we need Lindy Chopper to just give
Yeah.
us the rundown on all these outfits.
Don't pose like that. I love what he's wearing, but the pose is like,
Come on.
it's like, I didn't do anything, officer.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a yellow shirt, so I should just shut up. That's cool.
Sweet.
Swing Dandies. Thank you, Bobby, for being a machine of this stuff.
Jeez Louise. Prolific.
Another week, another website.
And now for something completely different. You like that segue, Rick?
That was amazing.
Thanks. I'm not sure when Nathan Bugh wrote this post on dancing. It says January of 2013, but it just came
Yeah.
across my Facebook this January. Read it for yourselves. www.jazzasmovement.com/infinilindy.html.
Infinilindy.
We'll post a link.
Yes. Do you want to do the quote on it?
Well, let's talk about it. What is it about?
I kind of don't want to sum it up because there's so much nuance in it that I don't want to.
You got to try to sum it up.
oversimplify. Okay.
Sorry.
Dance your own dance. there's room in Lindy Hop for everyone to do their own thing, and it can still be Lindy Hop. We don't all have to look the same in order for it to be the same dance.
What?
Well, that's not apparent to a lot of people.
What do you mean?
Well, no, I mean, I think so. So Nathan's post is about him it's like him discovering Lindy Hop, and also him discovering that he has a say in what he does. He doesn't have to match people, right?
Yeah.
And there's this. He's seeing the structure right now between like performances and competitions right now that look like sporting events, because there's, in his words, kind of less talent and more skill.
I'd say less art.
Yeah, right.
More skill.
Less art.
Yeah. So he has this one quote in there that I really like. Every time I step in front of a classroom to say, you do this like this, I feel a little guilty. I wish I could just sit them down and force them to watch swing era clips for an hour and say, take your best shot. In those moments, I know intellectually that students need structure and concrete answers, and that not everyone learns visually. But in my heart, I have just welded another bar on the prison door that they're constructing for themselves. And I hope all my students eventually outgrow my teaching and open that door.
Whoa.
That's
a hella good
awesome.
paragraph.
That's a great. Of course, whenever I read something, I don't understand it at first. Like, I don't know what's your point. Then as he got there, I was like, oh, I totally get it. Nathan is ever since I've seen Nathan dance, ever since I've known Nathan, he has his own thing. In the beginning, he was really matching the old dancers, right? Like Al Mins, and there's tons of video of him practicing with Evita, and he's like doing old dancer stuff. But then there's a time where that just drops, and he completely is like, I'm going to be inside this paradigm, but I'm going to be myself. And there's this kind of struggle within him that he's so eloquently putting in this blog post, that he wants people to kind of realize that they can follow and they can learn, but they also need to be individuals. And I think I agree with him on the sense that we see competitions at ILHC and whatever, and we see a lot of the same. I don't want to get in trouble for saying that, though. I feel like somebody's getting mad at me.
I don't know about that. Yes, Nathan is arguing for individuality in your dancing and like having it represent you really well. But I've also seen him teach, Charleston the way Al and Leon did it. So it's not that he's like throwing history out the window in favor of just like, doing whatever. He's still like really historically based. He's just decided like, okay, so I can do it like this person. I can do it like this person. How do I do it like me? And that is what I really like. Not just like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but like keeping the history, keeping the context, but still finding your own voice in there.
Right.
And I guess depending on when he wrote this, my reaction is a little different.
He did write. I'm texting him now on Facebook. He said, yes, I wrote it in early 2013.
Okay, so then maybe that makes a little more sense, because reading it in the end of January of this year, I was thinking to myself, you know what, I think that's actually shifted recently. I don't think that dancers are predominantly just the recipients of information and just doing it like their instructors anymore. So at Lindy Focus this year, there was this advanced Jack and Jill final where I thought it represented really well that there's some people who take lots of risk, and sometimes they screw up, and they screw up really big. But when they have it together, it's like, it's really powerful. And then there's also people who, for whatever reason, in a competition are like playing it safe and doing really like classic and classy things that maybe don't put you outside your box as much, but are not going to leave you like flat on your ass. And I've seen more of the taking risks stuff in the competition this year, which I was really happy about. I've seen it more in the leads and the follows. I think we're getting there, but hearing that Nathan wrote this a year ago makes a little more sense than having done it recently.
Yeah.
Well, let's check it out.
Do we want to look at a clip?
Yeah.
So this is from It's from Lindy Focus.
Advanced Jack and Jill.
Advanced Jack and Jill 2013. Let's take a look.
we saw a few dancers in there who, I mean, everyone at this level has their own style, their own way of doing things, but Anne Money and Josh Welter, for example, can consistently be relied on to like take risks, and maybe they'll like miss a hand connection, and people will be like, but then they make something of it, or they were just doing something really cool in the first place. So you kind of forgive that it wasn't like a tight, seamless, almost choreographed thing. That there's definitely them in their dancing, and they're really going for it. And that was really rewarded when finals came around, or when awards came around for this anyway, which I was glad to see.
Nice.
So thank you for your post, Nathan, although I obviously got the message a little late.
I mean, I was really glad that you put this out to, just because I hadn't seen his blog before.
Right.
That boy can write. Yeah, he's a smart cat.
Right.
So jazzasmovement.com. He's got a lot of interesting viewpoints to share, and maybe we can to have a chat with him sometime.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, actually, that would be great.
He's on Facebook right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of one of those things where, when you're talking to one of your professors about the things that they understand really well, and you're having a conversation with them about whatever it is, and you're like, I'm following the thread, but I know that there's 8 levels of meaning here that I'm missing in what you're saying.
Yeah.
I kind of worry that it would be like that if we had Nathan on.
Nah, Nathan would totally be like, nah, dude, it's okay.
Exactly. We'll have 12 footnotes underneath what he's saying.
He's like, it's all right. I was doing Nathan's sleepy eyes.
Wow.
So this is an interesting little thing. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the ladies in the dance and their importance. And I love getting more ladies on the show. Right, so we're gonna be talking to Gabby. We're gonna be talking to Joe.
So hopefully. I'm not token lady.
You're not token lady, yeah. We're gonna get some dudes too, but this is a documentary called "Plenty of Good Women," and I think Nicole, you found this, right?
Yeah, it came up on my Facebook. I think Anais posted it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and she's a person that I usually go to whenever I want inspiration about jazz, and combining that with my feminism, and just these powers combined are within her.
Well, this is kind of cool. So it's a movie about the ladies in Philly who grew up, the dancers, the hoofers, from the 1930s and 40s, that never really got the recognition, or never got recognition, period. The chorus girls were often just workhorses. They usually had to know more and be better dancers than the actual acts, because they had to change every time and always, and they never got any credit. So let's just look at a little bit of the beginning of this documentary. It's about an hour long, but let's take a look real quick.
A lot of great tap dancers came out of Philadelphia, and came through Philly too. And people appreciated dance here. They jammed theaters like the Standard and the Lincoln to see tap dancers traveling with the great swing bands. Ellington, Basie, Jordan, all the bands had hoofers in their shows in the 1930s and 40s. It was the swing era after the Harlem Renaissance. There was an explosion of creativity in a lot of art forms, and tap dance was one of them. But what people have forgotten is that African American women were out there dancing too, laying down steps like nobody's business.
It was unheard of a woman out dancing a man anyway, in tap, because she wasn't even supposed to be doing it. It's not that women couldn't tap dance better, it's just that they weren't going to get the opportunity to do it so that they would not over dance the man. They didn't want to give them the chance to show a man up, and so they would never give them the opportunity.
That is online at folkstreams.net. Also, there is a website for, let's see, I have it right here. The Philadelphia Folklore Project has an exhibit on their website at folkloreproject.org. And this right here is a little, you can click the play button and you can go through and see some amazing photos of ladies from back in the day. And these are just stunning.
I love that there's things like this now that are putting the focus back on voices that have been sort of silenced or overlooked in our historical combing of the dancers who have been out there. I love that we're finally getting back around to this, of researching the history of like half the community. About time. I love that there's things like this out there.
Yeah, this is fabulous.
Okay, awesome segue. So we're going to talk about another awesome documentary about some unsung heroes in the world of jazz. This is a documentary that I was really privileged to get to see at an actual movie theater. Thank you, Katrina. Called The Girls in the Band. It's if you get a chance to see this movie, you really, really need to see it. If you love Lindy Hop, if you love jazz, if you're into women's issues, this is definitely a must see. It basically tells the story of female jazz musicians from the 30s to the 70s and all the crap they had to go through to practice their art. So let's check it out.
They would not call it.
The men felt that this was their domain. To them, a woman, if she's going to do anything in the band, should have been a singer. To be an instrumentalist? No. You don't belong in that world.
When I was substituting for a man one time, the leader wanted to keep me, and all the men in the band got together and talked the leader out of it.
Most of them treated us as novelties.
It was unusual, and people thought it was cute.
The white world was completely unaware of us. Not only we were told, but we knew that we were the best. But we couldn't get that point across because we couldn't play the places that we wanted to play.
So this is a woman who worked consistently in a punishing, unforgiving environment.
She would write for Tommy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, or whomever. After she...
Oh, so good. Really, really good. So the main profile of the film is a group that I didn't, unfortunately, know anything about before, the International Sweethearts of Rhythm, which actually started as, it was the first all-female integrated jazz band in this country. And you got some great clips, not long enough, unfortunately, of the band actually playing, but still really, really precious. I felt really lucky to get to see it. And they reunited the musicians, and it's really, really touching, of course. And then you see more modern jazz musicians, not more modern jazz female musicians, talking about how thankful they are for the contributions that the foremothers of the music sort of paved the way for these guys. Yeah. And it's really interesting because, like, it was a long period of time, I guess, a generation, but the jazz musicians today, they're like, my gender's not an issue. Like, I just go out there and I kick ass, and I kicked ass with the men. And, like, it's not, they actually stopped doing the International Women's Jazz Music Festival, because it was just assumed that women now, like, could be band leaders, they could be arrangers, they could have their own bands. So we've seen a lot of progress. So it was a really, really inspiring movie.
It's awesome.
Check it out.
I haven't checked it out yet. I'm like so behind on documentaries.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely convinced yet that there's no difference in gender in music.
No difference.
But it's great that people feel that they don't need the representation anymore in order to be included. Good for them. I'm skeptical.
Yeah. Well, see the film. Yeah. It's really interesting. Videos.
Yeah, less downer notes. We've been doing some downers.
Really? I didn't think that was a downer. I thought it was inspiring. What should we do first?
You're inspired by sad things. What should we do first? I don't know.
Yes.
Dean Collins?
Oh, yeah. Let's do that first. It's
Can we
crazy.
jump to the Dean Collins? Who found this, and why does it exist, and why is it
It is a color clip of Dean Collins.
Right.
Dancing to an artist that I was surprised to see him dancing to.
Well, let's take a look at this.
The artist is Bjork, isn't it?
Oh my god, no, it isn't.
Oof.
Bad flip clap.
Well, that guy's drunk.
Dean Collins?
No, the guy next
The other guy. Is that Billie Jean playing in the background?
Billie Jean.
Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. Sugar push, baby.
Look at that slide.
Yeah, right?
I love it. The kids.
I love that she was doing switches.
That was so great.
I love this. Go ahead, Dean. Oh, nice. That was almost
You look really closely, and he's, singing along.
Is it?
Oh, really?
No.
Come on.
You got me. Okay.
So good.
Dean Collins. Crazy. To MJ.
You kids and your MJ.
Yeah.
I'll show you how it's done.
He just danced right through it. He's just like,
Yeah.
it's a tempo now.
Exactly.
If you look closely at the end when he's exiting, he says, "That's enough."
He does. He does.
Oh,
He goes, "That's enough."
That's awesome.
And they walk off in the middle of the song.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Done.
Oh man.
Oof.
Good find. Okay.
So good.
A swing kid walks into a bar.
And you just have to watch it.
All right.
Let's do it.
And of course, well, they have their bloopers, right?
Yeah.
Really?
What's up with the Balboa scene lately?
I know, right?
That's great. Watch this. Oh, there go the glasses.
Oh, so cute. Another Bobby White production.
What event was that?
I don't know.
Balboa on the Balboa.
Douglas was in that, so.
Yeah. And they say something like, in loving memory of EBC.
That's right, because EBC had its last year this past year.
EBC stands for the Eastern
Balboa
Championships.
Even I knew that.
R.I.P. EBC.
Pour one out for them.
So maybe that was at EBC. That was likely at EBC.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Got time for one more?
I always have time for one more, baby.
What?
Oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable right now.
That was all those things.
What?
Yes. And of course, what we mean is one more Frankie 95 clip, right? They just released between season 3 and season 4, I guess, all of the videos from the Frankie Ambassador of Swing show at Frankie 95, which I actually didn't get to see, even though I was working at the event. So I was really excited to see these videos.
It's all on YouTube.
It's all on YouTube now. So they do it in acts. You have to kind of plow through like 12 acts or something.
Look at the first act. The guy is really cool.
Oh, is that the one you're in?
Yeah, I have the fewest views. I mean, I'm not surprised, and I'm not asking for any more views.
Wow.
It's like all the segments are like thousands of views, and mine's like 17 views.
And it's all your mom.
Yeah, and it's all my mom. It's the same IP address. But go ahead, but I digress.
Well, we're going to look at one of the ones that has a few more views. It is the Shout and Feel It section that is just ridiculous, and you might recognize who these dancers are.
To the west, or good morning to the east, it's a good program from the Savoy. So shout and feel it.
If I'm not mistaken, Leonard is in this.
Oh, really?
Or maybe not. No, it's not.
He's in another one.
I think Daniel is playing where Leonard used to play.
Yeah.
Whoa! Now, this is second nature to these guys.
Yeah. No, this is like, they're not breaking a sweat.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? It just flies. I'm exhausted. Okay.
Has nothing to do with the fact that it's like 10 o'clock.
She said it's 10 o'clock at night. No, it's early in the morning for us.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
So watch all of them. All of the acts from the Ambassador of Swing show, all on YouTube. And if you go to Yehoodi, you can see them all consecutively in the right order.
Is it like 3 hours?
It's long.
It's long.
It's a
You
lot
probably
of stuff.
skipped that first guy.
No. And on that note, take us out, Spuds.
That was good. Well, if you are interested in calling us and telling us how you don't want to take that first guy out, of the Frankie thing, I mean, email us at this. That was really good. That was really good. News@Yehoodi.com. On the Facebooks, we're Yehoodi. SwingNation TV on Facebook is our new SwingNation page. And Twitter, we are at Yehoodi, at Spuds, at Zuckerpunch, at Rickomatic. And if you want to call us, it's 201-984-SHOW, 201-984-7469. Please leave a message at the beep. Beep.
Until then, keep swinging out. Thanks for watching. See you on episode 46.
Thank you guys. See you next week.
Peace.
All around the planet, gates are in the groove. Don't have to understand it, you just have to move. Truck on down, pimp your stroll, put some jelly on that road, Swing Nation. People grooving together.